In the remote villages of the Wurd forest region, children will tell you with gleaming, dreamy eyes about their encounter with the Fae in the forest. The lights, the laughter, the treats, the dancing, and the wonderful pranks they played. Adults are more likely to tell you about the pranks played on them, how terrified a goat was after a Fae took it for a joyride. These people are the lucky ones. Faen, or fairies, appear like tiny humans, small enough to hold them in one hand, with insect-like wings on their back. They seem harmless, friendly even, bright and easy to laugh, but they also seem to glow with innate magic, the smallest hint at their true nature. In her singular work, Kreaturen des Wurd und ihr Nutze in der Alchemie, Orietta Nona Clava has written on the true nature of the Fae. All of them have their Fae realm origin and Fae magic in common, including wind magic that enhances their ability to fly and illusion magic. Together with fairy dust, highly effective and addictive hallucinogenic, they inflict a glamour on people, making them appear harmless and friendly. This means what they actually look like is highly subjective to whatever the onlooker thinks of as cute and harmless. This explains the vastly varying eyewitness descriptions of the creatures. To know what a Fae truly looks like, one has to possess the mental fortitude and mastery of their senses to see beyond their Fae glamour, or behold a dead fairy's body and realize that these are the same creatures. As the legendary white man Roland Erkenbrand wrote in a report for the White Man's Loge in Ambeck. In truth, they look more like insects than men. Looking at the drawings from the report, it is easy to understand that even if someone finds the dead body of a Fae, they would not recognize it to be the same creature and take it for some sort of giant hornet. And that would be far closer to the truth than what the Fae's glamour makes us believe, as Roland wrote further. They also have the cold, merciless hearts of insects, and some of them are carnivores, like wasps. A swarm of those can pick a grown man clean to the bone in minutes. It is hard to tell which variant they are just from looking at them, so stay clear when you can. And so, the cautionary tales, told by all grandmothers throughout the Wurd region, to frighten little children to stay away from fairies, these fairy tales give us insight into the dangers and the tragedy that befalls those that don't heed the warnings. Of goats that have gone missing in the woods, a shepherd boy hears the panicked bleating of the animals, but when he comes running, he only finds the skeletal remains left of the animal. Of children that have gone missing and come back weeks or even years later, abused, broken, babbling incoherent tales of magical adventures, afflicted with an insatiable craving that leaves them sick, feverish, and shivering. Knowing all this, it is evident that Faen are extremely dangerous creatures that have well earned the name of Ungeheuer, monsters. And not despite, but because of the cute, harmless facade they impose onto their human victims. I hope you enjoyed my little lore video, and if you did, I'd appreciate if you could like and share this video. While I greatly enjoy creative work on my own settings, videos on my stuff tend to get far fewer views than if I make videos on popular games with, let's face it, brand recognition. So, Thank you for helping me out with that. Fairies might seem like a strange place to start a series of lore videos with, but I felt they make the perfect example of the tone and concepts I'm going for in my meta-theosis setting. Grimm's fairy tales meets Call of Cthulhu. While my main inspiration for this setting are the video games Bloodborne and Elden Ring, these fairies in particular are inspired by the manga Berserk. Reading the manga in my teenage years, when I also started role-playing, has left a lasting impression on me. It is no coincidence that Berserk was also a big inspiration for Hidetaki Miyazaki when he directed Dark Souls and later Bloodborne and Elden Ring. It seems he and I share a love for grim dark fantasy, cosmic horror and giant swords. These Feen, fairies, monsters, ungeheuers, also an example of what I'm going for with my lore and the monsters in particular. I like my fictional lore to be vague, open to interpretation, presented by questionable, sometimes conflicting, in-universe sources, like Roland Erkenbrand and Orietta Nonaclava in this case. I want to give the reader something flavorful and inspiring, a starting off point for their own interpretation and creativity. You decide what is real and true in your own game. I personally hate nothing more than when a source book gives me an absolute objective truth, especially when it comes to gods and magic. Nothing robs ideas of their mystery and magic faster than absolute truth. And I hate it even worse when players quote me something from the rulebooks to contradict the game world that I present to them. So I will keep my own rulebooks flavorful and inspiring, with no truth to be found, and hope to save me and other GMs that particular headache. Anyhow, that's enough of me ranting for one video. I wish thee safe travels, dreamers, until we shall meet again.